What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Flailing Forward podcast, the podcast where we are talking to entrepreneurs and business people about their journey and the lessons they've learned along the way. You may be flailing, but you're still moving forward. I am your host, Dustin Seiler. I am joined today by my guest, Amy Taylor. Amy is more than just a pretty face, although she's done modeling her entire life. She's been involved in pageants and modeling for years and years and years, but she also is incredibly intelligent. She had a career in molecular biology and I believe a biology degree. She's been a commercial pilot. She's been a private flight instructor, and she has lots of lessons to share with us tonight. So Amy, thank you so much for being here with me.
I think that's so complimentary, and much of the pivoting, as we'll get into, has been because something didn't work, or I wanted to live somewhere else, or I was in love or out of love. I think indeed there's been a lot of flailing, but I wish I could say there was some master plan. The only thread I can think is that maybe, much like you, I've always been curious.
Yeah.
About
You've had a very diverse career over the course, multiple careers over the course of your life. And maybe you're right that curiosity can lead you to want to know about a lot of different things.
Oh yeah, if I had 10 lifetimes, I would just keep getting like PhDs and everything, but
Right.
One can't. But yeah, let's be honest, some of it was because I turned out not to love something as much as I thought it was. So you talked about, I did study molecular biology at Berkeley, undergrad. And then it's one thing to study something and it's another thing to do it for a living.
Sure.
So my first biotech job, I just killed mice all day. I murdered a lot of mice. And yeah, I'm sorry. It's medical research.
That's part of it. Yeah.
And I had a hard time with that. Hypocrisy, of course. I take medicine, but staring down the barrel at my life, if I didn't go get a master's or probably a PhD in biology and become a principal investigator or professor or whatever, being at the bench and just being a mouse murderer was not a life I wanted. And the finances money wasn't everything, but let's be honest, it's not nothing. And the salary cap as a bachelor's degree level bench research scientist trying to live in the San Francisco area at the time,
Right.
was insufficient. So that's why I pivoted and did an MBA. I was basically unqualified to do anything but biotech research, right? So I kind of turned around, looked around, and there was no master plan of like, well, what do I do now? Which I think happens to people when they, maybe I should have studied business undergrad, but I didn't. So
That's okay. It seemed to work out for you anyway.
yeah. And the MBA took me to Southern California from Northern. And of course that was fun. Who doesn't want to live in palm trees and sunshine? So maybe there was some desire looking back. I don't know. We retroactively think things had some kind of plan when sometimes they just don't. But I did enjoy getting an MBA. I don't think I'm any business whiz. I mean, the 3 main accounting courses I barely got through.
Right.
But our final project became a real business that still exists today. So there's that.
Really?
Well, probably because of my partner in business school, not because of me. Yeah,
Your name was on it. You get to take credit.
I should call him. But it's and then because I had some geology and actually marine, like mathematical modeling classes in my undergrad, and then I had an MBA, I was able to parlay it into get a job in big oil. Okay. So yeah, I had enough of this. I mean, I was no geologist or engineer, but I could kind of, and that was very fun. I went back and forth between Houston and LA for many, many years. And because I was living in LA and it's this, fitness and vain culture, at that time, I did a little bit more modeling. I had as a teenager. Mm-hmm. LA is a place where that's an easy thing to have a headshot and, go to auditions when you have time.
Yeah.
So I did. Much of my life, I think, has been a byproduct of having too much spare time.
There you go. You find ways to fill it.
I mean, what else would be the alternative, right?
That's it.
So yeah, I modeled and did a bunch of magazines, a bunch of fitness stuff, had some reasonable success with a great publicist. And I think I'm willing to look stupid. I don't have a problem with looking stupid. So now fast forward, we're in 2008, and any of us who are old enough remember 2008, there was like no money to be making anything for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Massive recession. And so I found myself bored and having no shame. So I had already had this hobby of flying planes once in a while. The weather's really sunny there, and a lot of people do it as a hobby if you have enough cash. It's a ludicrously expensive hobby.
Yeah.
my grandpa had been a pilot, so perhaps it was in the blood, who knows. So I decided to spend my Great Recession time getting all my other flight tickets. This is what happens when nobody wants to marry you and you don't have kids, I guess. Yeah, ask my exes, but nobody get there.
You're too busy flying to have that solid relationship.
Bless your heart, Dustin. I mean, nobody gets everything in this life. I've been very lucky in career and finance, less lucky in love, and I'm sure that I'm the common denominator in that problem. But
This is definitely not a how to be in a relationship podcast, considering that both of us are single and in middle age at this point. So
you can do anything.
not the expert.
Yeah, I mean, that's the harder part for a lot of people these days. But so I went and got all my flight tickets, my instrument, my multi-engine, and then I added my instructor licenses. Why? Because the school told us that's an easy way that you can become a flight instructor and you can fly and build time, they call it, but somebody else pays the bill because fuel and flight time is expensive, right?
Yep.
So I did that, and then I flew cargo, and then I was an owner operators, like first officer for a while in a type of small jet that you can fly alone, but you shouldn't. It's not very safe. So you should. So I was a backup pilot. Turned out he was just trying to date me, and that didn't work out well when I realized that I probably should have known that you don't get out of flight school and get into a jet, right? I was not qualified, and it was honestly dangerous. He let me take the yoke landing into Lubbock, Texas, and like there's a tower or just, anyway, at the FBO, when we got inside, they were like, that landing did not look set up well. We were worried about you guys.
Oh no.
That's me. I mean, he set it down. It was his plane. So
Yeah, you survived. That's all that matters.
yeah. And I think I was just shameless of like, this seems fun. I'll try this. And when you're 28 to 35, you're fearless physically, you're fearless mentally.
Yeah.
The limitations haven't started kicking in yet. And I just wanted to, what do the kids call it? Life max? I just did. And I mean, I don't think I was any better of a pilot than I was as a scientist. I got lost in my first cross-country solo. Where you do a solo when you first learn, you got to go 3 times around in the pattern, full stop landings, and then let you cross-country solo. It's over 50 nautical miles from your home airport, blah, blah, blah. And you got to do it alone.
Yeah.
If you want to fly bigger stuff, you'll never fly alone again. So it's a really fun flight, but it's terrifying.
Yeah.
And I totally got lost. I had to call Albuquerque Center, and ask for help. And then I was so nervous when I got back that I was porpoising the landing, like with the nose gear, and it was a non-retractable gear little plane. And I finally had to do a go around and set it up again. And I mean, I didn't kill myself, so I'm here to make for a good story.
That's what I was going to say. Those types of things make the best stories, though.
Dude, crazy. But then I went on and I mastered, when I flew cargo, I knew I had to be better at it. So when we went through INDOC and you learn the engine systems of the plane and I really wanted to be better at it because, hey, you die if you're not. So
yeah,
I had a gear not down issue, but it was just the indicator light. And so I had a potential emergency that ended up fine. I actually felt surprisingly calm. It was just the light, though. The gear was down.
Yeah.
And I had a fuel in the fire in the fuel indicator, but I knew enough about the system of this particular plane that when you fly into the sunset, it's an optical sensor, right? It senses opacity in the air.
Okay.
And when you fly west into the sunset, the light can make it think it's seeing smoke when it's not. It's just a light wave problem.
Gotcha.
So point being, when you do your homework at something, you do get better at it, even if you start out real stupid.
Yeah. Well, that's such a great point. Knowing your equipment, doing the work, putting in the effort to know what you're doing, what you're using, what you're operating with, all that kind of stuff helps you not panic when those types of situations come up. The knowledge keeps you calm. I
mean, you know this from in the investment world because stuff happens, and from medicine, right?
Yeah.
Inevitably, not shenanigans happen.
Yeah. Lots of shenanigans.
The problem for me in modeling was that I was always overly interested in what the crew was doing because they have the interesting job, right?
Right. Yeah.
And sometimes it is just hard to stand there because it's literally you're paid to stand there. That's the job, and that's kind of dumb at times. But you learn to appreciate what the actual creatives are doing and to just be around it. So
it's so impressive. Everybody looks at the model and says, boy, they look fantastic. And then the models are looking at the crew saying, I look fantastic because of the work that these guys behind the scenes have done and set up for me. Right.
100%. I mean, it's fake hair, fake lashes. I mean, fitness, but there might've been some leaning out. Oh my God, the fitness shoots. A lot of the famous fitness photographers are in Toronto. I'm not sure why, but one fitness shoot I did for Muscle and Fitness Hers, you got to lean out because you got to have the shred, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, it's terrible. It's basically an eating disorder, and I'm starving for like oh, you're so sick of chicken and broccoli,
Right.
just chicken breast and broccoli. And I do my shoot, and like everyone looks like a hamburger or a chicken wing to me because I'm so hungry. And I get back to my little like courtyard Marriott Mississauga because I'm
Yeah.
gonna fly home the next morning. I ate an entire pizza
Oh,
and I
that's
fell asleep and missed my flight. And the salt load when I woke up, I looked like the thing from Goonies, like, hey, you guys, like Mama Fratelli's. I looked like that. And then had to find another flight home. And dude, but it's not intellectually difficult, it's physically demanding. Not to make fun of it too much, but I will say modeling and being in charge of your body to some degree, it does give you a confidence about discipline because you realize this too shall pass. If you're, it's just, it'll pass.
Well, and it's like you said, it's that discipline, right? I mean, whether you're in modeling, whether you're working in business, whether you're doing research, having the discipline to stay focused and to stay on task and to know how to get to and accomplish a goal that may not be that easy, and you may want to just quit and because it's very difficult.
Sure.
You know, that discipline will come into play in multiple areas of your life.
Correct. It's useful no matter what you do. And you know, confidence comes from the more times you do it and you mastered it, and then you see it again and you're like, I can do this. I've seen some stuff before.
Right.
And or conversely, if you fail, you're like, but I succeeded at other things, so let me just pick myself up after this failure. I think investment over my life, having seen that we took this small piece of an oil company public, and I was able to bank enough money to set my future forever. I'm not that rich, but you know, bought some properties and things that really elevated me sooner than I thought. But you know that these windfalls usually don't just keep happening.
Right.
Or even if they do, you don't know when or if. So it was the same discipline of like, let me not just go like take all my friends on a yacht like 10 times, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. And I find it very fun to start stupid and to master something, to flail. I find flailing really fun.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you're flailing less, you feel so proud.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you never stop flailing. I mean, when the joke about when you were a kid and you had to learn to walk and not crawl,
Yeah.
you can just give up because you can't.
Right.
You have to learn to walk.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to get there. And as a kid, you're just too dumb to know that you can't do it. But hey, do it. Right.
Fantastic. Yeah. And I hate that life. So now in my late 40s, the problem, of course, is you're not quite as hungry. And you have to resist that. Maybe that's why I had a midlife crisis and moved to Manhattan, because I wanted to be around people who were still hungry.
Yeah.
I want to arrive to my death exhausted and used up and having had fun. And by fun, I also mean discipline and work. I don't just mean like the wild stuff.
No, I get you. I think it's George Bernard Shaw that has a quote along those lines that says, I want to be thoroughly used up when I die.
Yes.
I mean, he basically wants to be in service and working and used and just completely worn out, but when he dies, because he doesn't want to be just a bump on a log or a bird.
Whatever that means to each of us, right? And I think you like to work. I know this about you. I'm a big fan of your show. And I think for some people, it's about, you know, lots of family and whatever gives us purpose. I think not only is that when we're in the best flow state, but for me and my God, or whatever you want to call it, I think that's what we're here to do. I think, I don't know that I've left the world much better than I found it. I've certainly made lots of mistakes and done the wrong thing. Being young and poor, there's no dignity in that. And I sometimes had to make decisions that were different than what I'd make now.
Sure.
I think a lot of people do. I think when you know better, you do better. But the ways in which I try to deploy capital and the people I try to employ and hire, I think you can do good in your little corners of the world at whatever stage you're at, right? I have the ability to, and it never, I mean, in the vein of like not being willing to look stupid, I was always too stupid to listen to other people. Certainly made some mistakes in life where I should have. Yeah. My mouth, I mean, when I was a young model, so unfortunately in modeling, there's some sleaze bags that will try to like get you to do the Dubai trips.
Yep.
Or, there's a lot in modeling. There's people who will call modeling agencies and hire 10 models to fly somewhere to Miami on a yacht. And it's really not a shoot. It's really just some rich person who wants a bunch of pretty people around.
Right. Yeah.
That part's fine, but then usually they try to like hook up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you say no, then, you don't get called again. All that stuff is, we were talking earlier off camera about wealth inequality, and there's a problem of being young and poor and other people not being. But talking back, like as a young model who was too headstrong, I talked back to some people like that who, maybe made life pretty difficult, but I think I'd still rather be a person who's not afraid to do the stupid thing than somebody who was too afraid to live, right?
Right. Yeah.
If I had to choose.
Yeah. Well, that's what's gotten you where you are, right?
I mean, and maybe there was no choice. I think I have friends and family who are much more thoughtful and slow moving. But I don't know how you feel, but I've always had this sense that sometimes I don't want to run out of time. I want to do things. And because I've seen life come at you, I've been through recessions, I've been through heartbreaks. And I think when I had a low midlife crisis in my 40s and moved to New York, I mean, all I was kicking myself was that I should have done it sooner, because I don't intend on retiring here.
Yeah.
And it's okay to have chapters, and it's okay to pivot. I would tell anybody who's watching this, if you are flailing right now, first of all, this too shall pass. Secondly, it's probably going to make a great story.
Yep. That's the biggest thing. Yeah.
And if it kills you, it won't matter. I just
no longer, you're over it. You're over it. No longer matters.
And you can always start over if you're on the right side of the dirt. And I've had dark moments, won't get into it, but like where I thought I was, it gets dark when you're struggling. We've probably all been there. But I think curiosity as a career or financial strategy is a useful one.
Yeah. Mitigated
by my absurd curiosity. Obviously I have a financial team that helps me not be an idiot. Mm-hmm. I'm older now, less risk of that, but it might have been. So you can put in stopgaps for the qualities that you don't have, right? Maybe you work too hard. You got some friend or family member who tells you to go ahead and go out to dinner once in a while and chill.
Yeah.
You do you. But for me, curiosity has had a much better ROI than anything else.
Yeah. Well, not only curiosity, but I love what you said about, when you finally moved to New York, your only regret was that you hadn't done it sooner. And it reminds me of a quote that I've heard before that said, everything you're looking for is on the other side of action.
Oh, I like this.
Right? Just take the action, Don't wait. I mean, yes, do your due diligence, whatever you need to do, make your plans as much as you need to, but it's the action that's going to get you what you're really looking for. Just like your experience moving, right? You wished you had done it sooner, and you took advantage of that time so that you had time for other things in your life down the road. And taking that action, even if it's uncertain or you feel like you're flailing as you're going, that action is moving you forward. And when you look back, you're going to realize that you've come a lot further than you thought.
Absolutely true. And don't worry about it, because you can always pivot.
Yeah.
It's not, again, you're on the right side of the dirt. You can always make changes. I think each of us know in the quiet of our minds, I call that God, but whoever you're speaking to yourself or whatever, it's from the ether.
Yeah.
You know what you really want, and correct. Otherwise it's a wish if you don't do anything.
Right.
But your body and mind will tell you if it feels good when you're doing it. Mm-hmm. Not if it's drugs or something, but if this particular job, biotech didn't feel right for me.
Yeah.
Oil felt better, so I did it for decades. And we're all different, and that's beauty. That's the fabric of it all. We're all supposed to be different. Right. And yeah, you got to head in that direction, because to your point, otherwise, yeah, you end up with it's morbid, but if you read or watch about the thoughts of people at the end of their lives, there's many people who wish they had chased what they wanted to dream about, career-wise or location-wise.
Yeah, I think one thing I love about you is you haven't been afraid to, like you said, look stupid learning something new, to take a pivot, to get into a new career, to get into a new path. I think one of the biggest fallacies we're sold in life is this idea that you have to work one place in one job, one career for the rest of your life, and you just work forever until you can finally retire and then spend the rest of your life trying to regain your health that you lost working that much. And the fact that you found these jobs that didn't feel right to you and you said, I don't have to stay here, I can go into something else and it's totally fine, I think is really impressive.
Thank you. I mean, you're the same way, right? You do lots of different things. You're a life maxer too, or whatever. Does that sound really cringe? Because I'm like in my 40s using tedious like
Way past.
yeah, right. This is not cool.
We're going to do it anyway.
I mean, yeah, we're hyphenators, or yeah, that's fine. I watched my sister too be out of the workforce for about a decade and a half doing a few kids.
Yeah.
And she was like the full-time mom, PTA president, the whole thing. She wanted to be a mom and it was beautiful for her kids and for her.
Yeah.
But then they get out of the house. It's time to do something else. And she has built a business that in the decade or so since has really taken off. And I'm so effing proud of her because she also didn't listen of like, you're too old or you've been out of the workforce and for sure, she didn't make much money at all for a few years because you're building and she that of like, I'm so much older than the people, but what choice do we have, right?
Right.
I think there's what's available. I didn't really choose modeling as much as it chose me, but I had the body that could be published but I chose to go with it and I didn't hate it. And when it's over, probably in a few years, I will do something else.
Sure.
There's lots of ways to go into beauty, fashion, fitness modeling when you're older. There's lots of other jobs that people get into, whether I do or not. My father, a retired professor, still wants me to go back and get a PhD in biology. He's going to be very disappointed that that's not what's going to happen.
Never say never, yeah, who knows?
I mean, I know, poor dad. I mean, he's a scientist and, maybe I did some of that because of him in the beginning. Who knows?
Yeah.
I do like the different worlds of creative, of modeling and science, which is very regimented, and business, which is faster and has to make decisions without all the information. I think I liked them all. In aviation, it's a lot of people with integrity, like kind of God-fearing, a lot of military people. I really like them.
Yeah.
None of them are billionaires. I like them a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe that was necessary after the morally corrupt world of entertainment.
Yeah, you needed
Maybe LA for years of all the things I saw. But I think failure has really good PR. It's just I've had opportunities that have devastated me. I didn't get into the college I wanted to. I got dumped by somebody I was in love with. And honestly, he's doing great. It doesn't miss me, but it's really, but honestly, I don't want him not to do great, but
no, I know.
I don't think. No, I don't.
Yeah.
Losing things that aren't for you is every single time it's forced me toward something better. So I think I don't know what this journey means, but I do know that it's just beautiful. In the most confusing, heartbreaking way possible, whatever we're all doing here for a few decades.
Yeah.
If I find out
how much it hurts in the moment, later down the road, it leads you to something that was even better than what you thought you wanted at that time.
If you let that happen and you take action, as you said, because a lot of people, if you're watching this, like you can bed rot for a little while, we all do it, but go get up because you're alive. You're alive right now. Go do something. I promise you won't regret it. You won't, right? You won't, even if it's the wrong thing, you will not regret it. Things that have felt disastrous to me at the times have ended up fantastic. And things that I thought were good sometimes weren't, right?
Right. Yeah.
I would not want my niece to do Playboy in her 20s. She's not that kind of girl. Thank God. Thank God she's not like her aunt.
One of those choices in your 20s that you might do differently now looking back on it, is that one of those?
I mean, I like photos. I'm like, look how hot I was, but the culture and people surrounding, the hangers on and the sleaze of it all is, I mean, I guess it again makes for great stories, but my network is bigger because of all the different things I've done. And life just doesn't have to get smaller as you age and run through it, right? Reinvention is fun.
Yeah.
You can reinvent anytime.
And being open to that is so important. I mean, the one thing a pattern that I've seen throughout your journey in your life is curiosity, and then a willingness to actually follow that curiosity. A lot of people are curious about a lot of stuff, but they just set it aside. I don't have time to think about that. I don't have time to look into that. I don't have time to learn about that. But you've been curious about so many different things. And so you take that action and find out about it and participate in that thing. And it's been this amazing journey for you.
Oh, every time I tell somebody that I got my commercial licenses and that I fly fixed wing, they act like that's something you can't do. I'm like, but you have Google too. You can do it right now at a flight school. There's a zillion flight schools.
Yeah.
It's a bit of money, but then, like I said, you can find ways to get somebody else to foot the bill later. But it's or anything I mean, yeah, and there are limitations. Like I'm currently trying to add my rotorcraft rating, and I am very bad at it. So
Yeah.
we have very little space to fly in. It's called the exclusion. It's 0 to 1300 over the Hudson River only. Because there's people of Newark, LaGuardia, JFK. There's
Bunch of airspace. Yeah.
and the New York air traffic controllers are so mean to me. Very dumb. And I find myself apologizing on the radios a lot. And I haven't even soloed yet. I'm not there yet. But it's not all the information. We live at this insane time where all the information is there. So, and yet instead we're scrolling, and to your point of not taking action. I think whether it's, it's cheesy to say, but vision boards or lists, I mean, sometimes we need somebody who loves us to tell us to get out there and try something, even something small. Because sometimes the first step, it's like exercise, right? The first step is the hardest.
Yep.
And I know for me, like just when you get the first step and you get in there, sometimes the avalanche starts, and then you're doing something.
Yeah.
I knew always that failure and humiliation and trying something and pivoting is not exceptional. Everybody gets rejected. Yeah. Everybody, I mean, I've known enough people that look great on paper, and when you get to know them, you find out all the things that didn't pan out. The famous Abraham Lincoln's failure resume.
Sure.
It's on the internet somewhere, people, you can go Google it. But I don't think that success and flailing are antonyms.
Right.
Right?
No, in fact, I think they are joint venture partners. I think you can't have one without the other. And the most successful people have also failed the most, but they're taking the most action and they're learning the most.
Oh, yeah. I think it's absolutely, it's necessary. And the great thing about people taking action and doing the things that like put you in that zone that you love, whatever that is, you want to canoe down a big river. I don't know. I was trying to think of something maybe I would do. But the successful life for me is optionality.
Yeah.
Which means doing financially smart things so that I have optionality. Doing things that use my brain so that can have fun conversations at dinner because it's still, not much. It's taking care of my health. That is very important to me.
Yeah.
Because I think that keeps doors open. My father used to tell me that make the decision that keeps the most doors open.
Right.
He was saying, like, don't become a felon, right? Because then you have doors shut in your face.
Yeah.
It's hard, right? So far, so good. I guess that's all for that, but I haven't done that one yet.
Right. There's still a lot of life left.
I mean, I could just wild out as an old lady. You never know later.
That's it.
And I do think the future belongs to people who ask good questions of themselves and of others. So it's, again, the same thing. You just can't be afraid to look stupid because the future belongs to you if you stay curious.
Right. My gosh. So many great things in this, taking action, staying curious, flailing leads to success. Don't be afraid to look dumb, get out there and make things happen. I mean, and make the choices, the discipline. I mean, there's just so many great life lessons in all of this. You mentioned, like we kind of went over some decisions in your 20s that you would do different now. If you've got somebody coming up in their 20s, they're watching this, they're thinking, well, what kind of things would you have done different? And would it, or did making all those choices back then lead you to who you are now? What kind of advice would you give to someone like that?
I would say, don't do some of the things I did. Please stay close to your family. They will show you mercy and grace that you didn't earn and don't deserve and can never repay.
Yeah.
But maybe don't be quite as naive as I am thinking that you know everything. I thought I was hot shit, right? From Berkeley. I'm smart. I can do anything. Nobody can do anything. Right. I wasn't humble enough. So maybe stay humbler or keep people around you that keep you less rash. I know the 20s are great. You're full of energy and confidence. It's a beautiful era in life. But if you make big mistakes, I'm not trying to scare anybody, but it can be dire.
Right.
And you don't want that. So have good friends, family, your little tribe around you that you can bounce stuff off of. And for me, the worst decisions were always made alone. So
Mhm.
sometimes who you trust, whoever that is for you, if you're in your 20s, and if parents are listening to this, stay close to your kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I wanted to ask you. I was thinking as I was watching some of the episodes on YouTube, like, do you notice common threads among people that you interview about flailing?
You know,
Are they similar or different?
yeah, I mean, I guess there probably is common threads. Everybody has such a different journey and they're in different arenas that they're working in and things like that. But the thing that you always get most often is that it's the mistakes and the flailing that really taught them how to get to where they're at. That's the most common theme, is that you have to fail in order to succeed.
Correct.
You really just can't do one without the other.
And I don't think you can develop grit, which is necessary for success, vital. I don't think you can develop grit without failure.
Right. Yeah, it's those failures that callous you to be able to handle the hard times in order to get to the successes. Like, nobody climbs a mountain without a few blisters and putting in some miles and, getting some calluses, things like that. You've got to put in the reps in order to get to the top of your mountain.
Yeah.
That's the most common theme from everybody that's found success, is that they first failed and learned what not to do in order to figure out how to get where they're at.
Yeah. It's all the case studies we say in aviation, the FARs, the Federal Aviation Regulations, we say they're written in blood. It's
Yeah.
kind of intense, but all the rules are written because some madman took up a plane 100 years ago.
Yep.
We owe this incredible system of aviation we have to these young men.
Yep.
And some women, but you used to need to be some muscles. There wasn't hydraulics, right? You had to be a
Right.
guy.
Yep.
And I'm not trying to be sexy. Don't at me, internet.
Yep.
Yeah, I think, and if people can look at flailing as a luxury, because it is, you're still here, you still have time to flail, right? It's a gift. Watching you, they care about their own lives. They're not watching you that much. Nobody
Right.
cares. They got their own problems.
Everybody's worrying about looking stupid on themselves to worry about what you're looking like. I mean, everybody's, like you said, everybody's focused on their own thing, and nobody really cares or is paying that much attention, except the people that really care about you and want to see you succeed. And they're only paying attention to find out how they can help and support you. And they don't care if you're screwing up, outside of the fact that they want to see what's best for you. And they're willing to be there when you fail so that they can support you and lift you back up.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful way to think of it. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's wait, in medicine, is it true that when we break a bone, when it knits back, it's a little stronger?
Mhm.
Is that a lie? That's actually true.
Yeah, it's like a true thing. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of like life, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You're really unlikely to re-break a bone at the exact same spot, because it heals a little bit stronger. Yeah. It's like a callus on the bone.
That's crazy. I mean, it's a heck of a way to get stronger. I wouldn't recommend it, like for people.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that either. But these guys that do like Muay Thai and things like that, they're out kicking tree limbs and stuff. MMA fighters, they're kicking these hard things because that remodels the bone and makes it stronger. That trauma to the area, that consistent, uh, beating to the bone makes it stronger, so that when they go into an actual fight, they now have much stronger bones and stronger tissues. And it's like that in life in general. The more life beats you down, the stronger it makes you, as long as you keep getting back up and going forward.
Yeah, and not let it make you bitter.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah. You got to recognize what it's doing and use that for your benefit.
That's very interesting. I had read that and I didn't know if it was just some internet nonsense or if it was actually medically accurate.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I know alloys are like that, right? You mix two metals and then you heat and cool, heat and cool, heat and cool,
Yep.
and you get an alloy that's stronger than either.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Easy.
Yeah.
I hope to become like a many time fractured strong bone by the time I'm out of this life. That's the goals.
I think you're working on it. You're working on it. Real quick before we wrap up though, what are you looking for anything in your business, investing, modeling, career, whatever? If people want to work with you, they want to hire you, are you open to that? What are you looking for right now in your life, in your career?
Well, that's very sweet. I still do some modeling and brand deals if they would just want to look at me trying to sell somebody a dress. No pressure, people. But I am Amy Taylor NYC on socials. And then, yeah, I mean, we'll talk off camera more, but certainly and I do some investing in some stuff too. So,
Yeah. Okay.
and as I pivot out of the modeling days fully, I've still got like decades left of life, I hope. So I think I'd like to back things that interest me in the next chapter of my life. So we'll
Sure.
see.
Great. Okay, perfect. Well, if you want to work with her, guys, go ahead and hit her up. She gave you the social handles. We'll put it in the description down below. In the meantime, from another episode of Flailing Forward, thanks for watching. Get out there, take the action, do the work. You might feel like you're flailing, but you are moving forward. And when you look back, you're going to see just how far you came.